This conference will now be recorded.
I think they asked us the question. So to make the MFA comparative, you can use the custom registers. Is the correct? Yes, the first one is right actually, but the thing is you need to provide the access for that respect to users. So if you want to provide the access for the respect to users, specific MFA policy is not going to be helpful for them, right? You need to provide the complete IAM access. So, but I'm been working on this one, the respective one, for the customized policy only for the MFA. Generally, in our environment, we used to do with SSO, so that the user can chime into the SSO only. Single sign-on, they will authenticate through SSO. They will perform those activities. But if if the SSO is not enabled, and if you want to enable the respective one, only for the MFA, then you need to ensure that. You need to you need to have a specific MFA policy. On the IAM visa, you created one AWS account in the logged in and not set the MFA, but if you link from the security operations to set the MFA my user, or to set the mechanism to automatic sanitize and get the peak alert of the using user account. That you need to create a respective Datadog alerts actually. Through monitoring tool Datadogs, you need to create that one. Right, you need to enable to Datadog or any kind of monitoring tools by you, or if you can use the CloudWatch or you can use the Datadog. And for the notifications, you can use the specific one, right? For the notifications, you can set the specific ones actually. IAM resources, no, it won't cause any billing actually. You cannot have IAM resources over there, right? You cannot cause any billing for the IAM. The last one, so if you hold for some time, right? If you hold for some time, right? That respective code authentication. If you hold for some time for respective code authentication, you will get an edit option actually, where you can edit your respective naming conventions on your application of Google Authenticator, right? On your application of Google Authenticator, right? Am I clear on this? Right? Am I clear on this? Any other questions, sir? So this is one thing. And coming to the continuation of the jump cloud, so yeah. So as soon as you have created this respective jump cloud, guys, right? As soon as you guys are creating this respective jump cloud, so hope you guys have created this jump cloud, right? So hope you guys have created this jump cloud. So any issues with the jump cloud actually, right? Avinash, Jiva, any issues with the jump cloud accessing? Mangesh. So now, as soon as you created this respective jump cloud, so you need to select this respective. So you created this jump cloud. So let me delete it and come back from the starting onwards. So you need to enable the SSH sign on. So here, right, AWS SSO sign on. So here you need to ensure that. So add here and search for the AWS here. Amazon Web Services. Configure. And display name is AWS SSO. So activate this respective one. So don't use this default one. So what you need to do is, so look at here. Here you need to go after logged into the jump host. Here click on the SSO and enable this respective SSO here. Right, enable this respective by adding the symbol here and then here AWS. Here you need to configure here. Here you need to display name is AWS SSO, right? You can give the description and activate. So note that IDP URL cannot be shared across the application and the URL is not editable after creation. Right, basically in your real-time environment, you guys are going to be logged in with this URL actually, rather than using the aws.amazon.com. You will get your own URL actually, right? You guys will get your own URL actually. So continue here, right? Here, as you after continuing here, what you guys need to do is you need to download the metadata. So this metadata, you need to go with the identity providers. This metadata, you guys need to go with the identity providers. Go for the identity providers, and here you need to add the identity provider here. Add provider here. So SAML based authentication here, right? And then you need to add the identity provider to this jump cloud. So choose the file, the one which you have downloaded just now. Add the provider. So now this provider got added. Now from this you guys are going to be authenticating, right? From this you guys are going to be authenticating here. So that is one main important thing. From this you guys are going to be authenticating. That is one main important thing here, right? Am I clear as of now? So similarly, you will guys are going to get your identity provider from the Google, or if you want to go with that Microsoft AD, you will get an identity provider from the Microsoft AD. Just you need to attach it, right? Just you guys need to attach this respective identity provider. This is what you guys need to do. So once you guys have completed this one, you need to create a role actually. Now tell me, what is the role I want to choose here? So which is my source here? What is my source here? Which is my source here?
AWS account.
AWS service or AWS account or web identity. Jump cloud is your source. So whether my jump cloud is an identity, web identity, or it's a SAML based federation. What I have selected there, SAML based federation. So this is what I need to select. So you need to allow both programmatic as well as management console access. Why? Because going further, you guys are going to be providing this access, isn't it? Going further, you guys are completely relying in this activities. So that is one main important thing. And secondly, you guys need to use the respective, the provider is your respective jump cloud. Click on this next. So here I am providing the power access user. Right, I'm providing the provider access user. What I'm doing is jump power access. Right, jump power access here. So creating the role. Right, now here I created a role. So jump power access. This is one I created. So now here I will get an ARN here. Right, now here I will get an ARN. So what you need to do is you need to provide this authentication actually. Right, you guys need to provide this authentication actually. Am I clear on this? So now here, so go for this respective jump cloud. Click on this respective operations here. Go for the SSO. So now here, go for the attribute. Here you need to provide the, under the constant attributes, you guys need to provide this actually, the ARN which you have created here, right? The ARN which you have created here. So now click on this one. So click on this ARN. So here you have an access, right? The one which you have created right now, jump power access. This is the one. And similarly in the identity provider also you will get one ARN. So this ARN you need to copy. So what is ARN first here? What is ARN first here? What is ARN stands for? Amazon resource name. So these resources you guys are authenticating here, right? With the help of this role only you guys are getting authenticated here. Role ARN along with the respective, right? Respective SAML provider ARN here, right? This is the one of the main important thing, right? Now here once you guys are did it, click on save, right? Application has been saved successfully. Same thing you guys need to do with your respective, right? Same thing you guys need to do with the respective other service providers here, right? Other service providers here, right? Other services provider here. So now here you need to add the user here, right? You guys need to add the user here. Let's say suppose Shenmukh. So Shenmukh here, right? This is one thing, and then you need to use the company email address. So addanafi.anish@gmail.com, right? This is what you guys need to do, right? Once you guys are performing this activity, so here specify the initial password, the one for the password based authentication. Sorry for bad internet. So guys, anyone facing lag on the video? Anyone facing lag on the video? Thanks. Right. So the same way, the one which you want to use, right? The same way, the one which you want to use. So click on this custom attributes, add the new attribute here, right? So now here you also need to save that respective the thing. So go for this respective policy, go for this respective roles, the one which you have created jump power user access. So what is the description here? The one which you have created here, jump power access. Click on this respective one, put it the name and the value. So save the user here, right? So this is what you guys need to do. So you can send for this respective Shenmukh here. And similarly, so one thing I forgot actually. And we also provide you the identity provider details as well here. Right, one is the power user and the identity provider user. Right, so this is what you guys need to do, right? And the password status is this one. Am I clear on this as of now? Any questions, any doubts? Am I clear? Am I clear on this? Right, so very important. Similarly, the same steps you guys need to follow for the any other user as well, right? Any other service provider you guys need to follow, right? So now here you need to manage your respective SAML authentications as well, right? SAML based authentication as well. So one thing here you can add the groups, the user you can add the groups here, right? If you want you can add the groups here, right? AWS underscore SAML here. You can add this one. So you can add the one which is the user here. You can add it. You can have the application here, your AWS SSO, and save it. Right. This is what you can do here. Right. So this is the procedure. You can add this respect to users in the groups. Right. So now the last step. So you guys will get an URL actually. Right. The one which you are URL here. So this is the IDP URL, the one which you guys are getting here. So you need to enter into the username and the password. One more. So what is the username? So this is the one. So like that, you can log in into the now AWS console. Similarly, you will get your URL. So Jiva, you asked me, Shenmukh, I'm not using the AWS console URL. I'm using the different URL actually. How it is possible actually? So this is your IDP URL, identity provider URL. Similarly, they will provide you the one URL for you. So where that is nothing but your organization URL. Under that organization unit, they will have the so many child accounts. For example, similarly, they will provide you one URL the way how I provided for the IDP URL. Got it? So now here, what you guys need to do is, so there is an organization unit. When you purchase an organization unit account in the AWS, they will provide you one URL actually. Right? One similar kind of URL they will provide you. For example, your company name is TCS, tcs.awsapps.com. Right? Under this, you will have so many child accounts. For example, dev TCS. Right? For example, dev TCS. For example, QA TCS here. QA-TCS here. Like that, they will have a number of accounts based upon your access, the one which I have showcased right now. You will get the users. You will get the respective account access. So this is what the procedure they do. They will take the metadata from the one of the IDP provider and they will take the respective console access for you. Like that, they will similarly they will also provide you the authentication and authorization for your respective details. Am I clear on this? So this is how you guys are going to be provide you the respective SSO authentication. However, this is not related to your respective examination point of view, but this is definitely is going to be helpful for your respective interview point of view. Right? They will definitely provide you the interview point of view. As soon as you guys did it, just delete it all the things, right? Because this is also going to be chargeable. So you will just do the practical, integrate with your respective login via SSO. So this is one thing, right? Am I clear on this? Any questions, any doubts with the identity provider? So now here you have discussed about the users, you have discussed about the groups, you have discussed about the policies, right? And also you have discussed about the roles, identity providers, and account settings. Any questions, any doubts, guys? Any questions, any doubts? Any questions you'd like to ask me here? Very important concept here, this identity. So as soon as you guys are completely perform this activity, so you will get a lot many doubts here, and let me know where you guys are facing the issue. Right, this is one main important concept for your interview person purpose. But here the thing is, you will not going to be get this one for the practical your examination point of view, but interview definitely they will ask you. Right, any questions here? Shall we move to the next topic here? There is one topic in pending, which is the S3 bucket, right? For your static web page, that I will discuss by tomorrow. Right, once the ECR and EKS has been completed, right, static website will going to be there for your respective S3 bucket, right? So that is one main important thing. So now here, so how many guys are well versed with Docker? Okay. So now here, so yeah, let me give a brief introduction about how the complete mechanism works. Right. So now here, so here you have an the history of the respective operating systems. You have an single monolithic operating system, actually. Monolithical operating system. That means one hardware, one machine, right? One hardware, one machine, and one operating system, right? One hardware, one operating system, and one application. One hardware, one machine, and one operating system here. Here you have a single operating system here. So where here you have been using only one application. For suppose the hardware will have an 4 GB here. The hardware will have the resources like 4 cores of CPU, right? 4 cores of CPU and 4 GB of RAM, right? 4 GB of RAM and 500 GB of hard disk, right? 500 GB of hard disk, right? 500 GB of hard disk, and it is only one application here. And this application has been required only the resources of 1 GB of respective CPU, sorry, 1 GB of RAM and 1 core of CPU, 1 core of CPU and 50 GB of hard disk, right? 50 GB of hard disk, right? 50 GB of hard disk here. So this is one thing, only 50 GB of hard disk, and this is one thing here. So what is my wastage of resources here? Around 3 cores of CPU, 3 GB of RAM and 450 GB of hard disk. So in the picture, to avoid this wastage of the resources, there is a technology called virtualization as comes into the picture. So you have discussed about the virtualization actually. What is virtualization? What is the purpose of virtualization? You have discussed about it, right? So what does virtualization do actually? What is the purpose of virtualization? What does it do? Right? It will help us to enable the multiple operating system, right? And multiple applications on the same server at the same time, right? It will help you to efficiency of your respective effective uses of your respective resources here, right? It will help you to manage the effective usage of the resources here, right? That is how it works here. right? That is how it works. So now here, after virtualization, people are migrated from the hardware virtualization to software virtualization here. Hardware virtualization to software virtualization here. Right? Software virtualization. Hardware virtualization to software virtualization here. This is one thing. Right? Hardware virtualization to software virtualization here. And then here you have an, right? Here you have an the respective, right? Here you have an the respective then software virtualization called Docker, right? Docker. And here the software virtualization here in the sense you have an hardware. Here you have an hardware. On top of it, here you guys are going to be installing an operating system. So typically the Docker will going to be right exist with the help of respective Linux operating system. On top of it, they will install an Docker engine to enable the respective containers. Docker engine to enable the respective containers. Here you have an container 1. Here you have an container 2 and so on. To manage this respective containers, right? To manage this respective containers, here you have an right a orchestration tool called Kubernetes. Right, Kubernetes. So this is an your operating system orchestration here, which is we call this one as KAS. Right, Kubernetes. This is C1, container 1 and container 2, right? Container 3 and container 4 and container 5. So this is how it's going to be happen, right? This is how it's going to be happen here. Container 1, container 2, container 3, container 4 and container 5 here within this respective KAS. Right, within this respective KAS is the orchestration tool here. So this is how it works. So now here, so now here, the main purpose here, the one which you guys are looking for, the main purpose here, the one which you guys are looking for. This Docker containers will spin up a respective container with the help of Docker images. The Docker containers consisting of Docker images. These are very lightweight. These are very lightweight actually. You can spin up the container within the seconds. You can spin up the container within the seconds actually. 10 to 12 seconds you can spin up your respective container. Right? 10 to 12 seconds. So within the seconds you can spin up a container. And this Docker is going to be right. This Docker is going to be completely a lightweight actually, which is going to be consisting of lightweight images. To store these respective images, you guys are going to be using a right, to store these respective images. You guys are going to be using a ECR repository, right? ECR repository, right? To storing these respective images, you guys are going to be ECR repository, right? The ECR repository is the main one where you guys are going to store the Docker images, right? Where you guys are going to store the Docker images. That is how it works, right? That is how it works here. So now here, this ECR repository is an AWS proprietary, and we call this one as an elastic container repository or elastic container registry, right? This is a private repository here. This is a very private repository. So only your AWS guys can able to access this respective, right, private repository. Only the respective AWS services within the account can able to access the Docker images, right? Can able to access the Docker images, right? Am I clear on this? Any questions? Any doubts? Am I clear on this? Any questions, guys? Here? So now here to enable this ECR repository, right? You guys are going to be enable this ECR repository. You guys are going to be need to know about few of the Docker commands actually, right? So how to create a container, how to view the respective running containers, right? And also how to enable the respective containers in your respective EC2 instances, and how to enable the right repository, right? How to enable the respective repository. Those things you guys are going to be discussing. Very important here, right? So this is the main step for to create your EKS cluster, Elastic Kubernetes cluster. Very important, Elastic Kubernetes cluster. So we'll discuss how it's going to be happening, right? We'll discuss how it's going to be happening. So this is clear. Why should you require an ECR repository, and what is the purpose of enablement of ECR repository? Am I clear on this? Any questions? Any doubts here? Right. So now here we'll spin up a right T2 medium instances, because the Docker containers to spin up it required an 1 core of CPU and 1 GB of memory is not sufficient actually. Right. You guys are spin upping the respective containers. So now here we'll enable the respective, right? We'll enable the respective a instance which is a T2 medium here. So launching of instances, EC2 is your respective AMI here, which is on T2 micro. So now here I would like to, so EC2 Docker here. And launching of the instances here. So dev-docker is my pump key. So I'm launching of the instances. Okay, I need to shut down it again. I need to change the instance type. So meanwhile, let me convert .pm to .ppk. So ensure that you guys are created T2 medium on the first floor. So let me convert .pm to .ppk here. Still it is in initializing state. You need to hold on. till it got installed. Then you need to stop it and change the instance type. Guys, following any questions, any doubts? Avinash, all your questions got cleared. Are you there when I'm answering your questions? So let me stop this respect to instances. Instance goes stop. Let's change this to instance type here. Go for action scope of instance settings. Change the instance type and let's select for the T2 medium. So now here, once you have selected with the T2 medium, let's enable the respective installation of the Docker engine actually. So let me log in into instances and then go with the respective installation for your Docker. So later you need to create a Docker image and you need to push those respective services over there. So now here, this is the one thing. So once you have an T2 medium instances ready, go ahead and log in into the respective instances and install your respective Docker binaries over there. So let's install the respective Docker here, right? Let's install the respective Docker here. So those and all not required actually. So you are being using the right. You guys are going to be using the respective on your respective Amazon Linux, right? So you have been following the simple Amazon extras install. Actually, this is my Amazon Linux. You guys are need to install the Amazon Linux extras install local here. So once you have installed the Amazon install, so just use service docker start actually. So now here you need to provide your respective permissions for the EC2 user, right? And to check the service of your respective docker, service docker, right? Status, it is in running state. So this is what you guys need to do. So what you guys need to do, just you guys need to install the respective commands here. Just you guys need to install the commands, 3 commands to install the docker. Right, you guys need to enable the 3 commands here. So firstly, use the installation of your respective right Amazon Linux install and service docker start here, and then you guys need to enable the respective right group of the commands here, right group of the commands here. This is one main important thing here. User mod -a capital G docker and EC2 user here. So you've been adding the EC2 user to an group called docker. That is a third command will do, right? These 3 commands you guys need to install. So later you guys need to build a respective docker image, right? You guys need to build a respective docker image here. So before that, you guys need to build a docker image. Before that, you guys need to know the few commands actually to check the docker to running containers, right? The command is docker ps, right? Docker ps to create the docker image. The command is docker build -t, right? -t, which is nothing but the tag name, right? Docker image build -t, which is nothing but the tag name and the required tag name here. For example, the tag name here is prod image, right? So, and then to run the container, to run the container, the command is right. To run the container, the command is docker run -itd -name, right? -name, right? -name docker prod application, here. So this is what you guys need to do, right? Am I clear on this? Am I clear on this? So this is what you guys need, right? So these are the three commands which you guys need to remember. So one is this one. So history of the commands. So this two commands you guys need to use, right? These are the Docker commands here that you guys need to understand, right? So this is one thing. So later, so you need to create a ECR repository actually. What do you guys need to do? You guys need to create a ECR repository. So this ECR repository is very important actually. So basically you will get a public repository from the Docker Hub. So public repository in the sense, what do you mean by public repository here? What is mean by public? Anyone can able to access. This Docker Hub is a public repository here, right? Anyone can able to access. This Docker Hub is a public repository here, right? This Docker Hub is a public repository here. So the one which you guys are looking for here is the private repository, right? The one which you guys are looking for here is the private repository here, right? The one which you guys are looking is for is the private repository here. So now here to enable a private repository, you guys are adopting a service called ECR, right? You guys are adopting a service called ECR. Now here use the ECR here, go for the services, go for the ECR here, right? Elastic container registry, right? Go with the services, go for the ECR, elastic container repository or registry. So get started. So you want private one. So what you can use here, production app images, right? Production app images, production app images here. If you want to encrypt your respective KMS, you can. So we have not discussed about the KMS. We'll discuss once KMS topic comes into the picture, right? We'll discuss soon, right? So later you guys need to, right? So later you guys need to, right? Later you guys need to know how to access this respective, right? How to access this respective repository, create a repository. So as soon as you guys have created the repository, right? As soon as you guys have created the repository here, what do you guys need to do? Right? As soon as you guys are going to be use this respective repository, what do you guys need to do? You guys need to enable the respective commands here, right? You guys need to enable the respective commands here, right? If you click on this respective repository, you will get the view push commands. You need to follow this one, right? You need to follow these commands. So before that, you need to know how to enable the, right? Before that, you guys need to know how to enable the Docker image, right? You guys need to enable the, how to enable the respective Docker image here, right? How to enable the respective Docker image here. So now here, we'll need to create a Docker file here. A simple Docker file I'm going to use here. Right, this is a simple Docker file. So which is going to be enable your respective, which is going to be enable your respective a HTTPD service actually, a HTTPD service here. So remember carefully, D is the capital, D is the uppercase letter in the Docker. This is the one you guys need to remember. So now here, what is the command you need to use? Docker build, right? Docker image build, this respective image name prod-app. Okay, build spelling is wrong. Sorry, -t. Docker build -t in the prod app. So this is building the respective image actually. Right. So you have built the respective image. To list the respective image, you guys are using the command called docker images actually. Right, docker images you guys are using here. Right, docker images you guys are using. So now here you need to push this respective image here. Right. Seems this image is not successfully got built actually. So it is not finding the valid URLs. So let me troubleshoot this. So yeah, you need the report reference. So let me write this one file. CentOS 8 upstream is not happening. Huh? Nonsense. Okay, so let me check this Docker on more file. Seems some issue with this Docker, not with the Docker file. Seems some issue with this respective mission itself. Okay, let me check this, guys, and I'll get back to you on this. Some issue with this one. So it keeps on troubleshooting, will take some time. So I will troubleshoot it. I'll get back to this one. Right. So now here, where are you on the assignment? Only Pramod is submitting the assignment. Rest everyone is not understanding at all, or you guys are very busy with your rocket science implementation of your work. Yeah, Jiva is okay. What about Raj? Mangesh, you only ask documents, you won't submit. Huh? Hmm? Okay, EFS on you did. Hmm. Okay, EVS snapshot also. So fine. So now here, let's go with this assignment number 6, I think. 4 and assignment 5. Yeah. So assignment number 6. Yeah, assignment number 6. So what you guys need to do is create with your own policies. This is completely related to your respective, right? Assignment number 6. So this is completely related with your respective IAM user. Avinash, where are Avinash is there? Huh? Avinash also only he will ask questions. He will run away in the middle of the class. Huh? So IAM user, uh, create an role with create an custom role, right? Which defines S3 only get access with the help of with the help of AWS policy generator, right? And second thing, create a SSO with IDP jump cloud, right? And then create a IAM role, right? Create a IAM role from EC2 to S3, RDS, and DynamoDB. Enable the multi-factor authentication for an user by using Google Authenticator. MFA for an IAM user, with the help of Google Authenticator. right? Authenticator. So these are the 4 things you have need to submit with respect to assignments. I will continue with the Docker, the file creations by tomorrow. Right? Any other questions, guys? Yeah, fine. Thanks. Yes, yes. We'll do by tomorrow. Thanks.